Kalsubai, the tallest peak in Maharashtra. It is located near a small village called Bari and it is a 4-hour drive from Pune city. We started our journey at around 10 am and as we got closer to the base village, the Sahyadri range engulfed us completely. We could see mountains of varying heights, but the peak of Kalsubai looked down upon them all. We arrived at the village at around 3 pm and there we ate some snacks before we began trekking. We were guided by a local villager named Balu Khade. He was also the one who took care of our sleeping arrangements. We began trekking at around 4:30 in the afternoon and we made sure to carry lots of water. The trek started from the village and as we walked, we noticed that the village had a particular aesthetic which blended in nicely with the environment. The pastel colors used on the houses gave the village a very unique aesthetic. As we came out of the village, the mountain made us realize how tiny and insignificant we really are. Fun fact, there are more galaxies in the universe than there are grains of sand in all of the beaches in the world. Conversations about topics like this made us all anxious, so we decided to take a short break. We kept pondering upon this thought and we were doubtful if we could even make it to the top. But before the negative thoughts could overwhelm us, we decided to take this journey one step at a time. Our first small but fruitful accomplishment was when we reached the temple at the base of Kalsubai. It is believed by the locals that if one wishes for something at this temple and then climbs to the next temple which is at the peak, Goddess Kalsubai will fulfill that wish as a reward for the dedication and sincerity shown by that person. Keeping this positive affirmation in mind, we started trekking forward. The climb was steep and exhausting, but we pushed through it by focusing on the smaller milestones instead of just looking at the peak. The sun's scorching heat hit our bodies and made us feel weak. It reminded us of an advertisement of an energy drink that we used to see as kids, where the son would use a straw and drink all of the water from the children's bodies and dehydrate them. Our situation was very similar to this, until we reached our first checkpoint. We sat at this shop and drank cool lemonade and water to refuel ourselves. Fortunately, there were 5 of these shops along the way, each spaced approximately 40 minutes from each other. Because of this, we were not dehydrated or low on energy during the trek. As this video continues to document our journey, I would like to narrate a story about Kalsubai and how the mountain got her name. The story begins in the village of Bari, where a small girl named Balu Khade worked for the Patils. Kalsu did not like to do dirty chores like cleaning the dishes or taking out the trash. So, when she was asked to do these chores one day, she felt very insulted and she decided to climb to the top of the mountain in her village. She reached the peak and stayed there until she died because she knew to respect herself and not go back down there to be ill-treated. The villagers were moved by this action and they made a temple on the peak in her memory. This temple eventually became the symbol of strength and dedication, where people would climb this mountain to prove that their life means something. Coming back to our trek, the sun had set on us and the strong cold winds hurried us into reaching our campsite. As remarkable as the city light views were, we could barely see anything. We could hear sounds of many insects and the path ahead of us was unclear. The only vision we had was the small circle in front of us casted by our torches. Do you remember seeing that cat in the beginning of the video? Well, apparently she had been accompanying us for the entire trek and she is a wild cat. Once we reached the campsite, Balu Khade set up our tents while we served ourselves dinner he had brought for us. We made a campfire to stay warm and also to get rid of animals like wild dogs. After finishing our well-deserved meal, we slept like babies in the cozy tents and woke up early in the morning at 5 am to start trekking towards the peak. It was a race between us and the sun. We were tired from trekking 4 hours last night, but we knew that the sunrise was the main event and we could not miss it. We pushed through the pain and kept climbing in the dark until we reached the famous Kalsubai temple on top. As soon as we reached the peak, we remember feeling such strong sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. We felt as though nothing was impossible if we gave it our best effort. We prayed to the idol of Kalsubai in that temple and requested her to fulfill the wish we had asked for at the base temple of the mountain. Ancient Indian temples were always built on the peak of mountains because when devotees are exhausted from the climb, they can go into a truly meditative state naturally without any disturbance of the city as the positive vibes surround them. But after spending a good amount of time at the peak, we had to start climbing back down before it got too hot. It took us about 3 to 4 hours to reach back to the base. The ladders were very hot to touch. This video would be incomplete without an inspirational quote at the end, so I would like to quote a famous saying which is, "The best view comes after the hardest climb." This is not just in the context of trekking, but it is in the context of life. We must always look forward to achieving the goal even though there may be hurdles in our way.